Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my live general reading. Thank you so. Oh my goodness, you're already in here. Hello. Excuse all of the stage. I'm finishing up saging a deck because there's been a little bit of an intense couple of readings. So I'm saging as much as I can. So if you're seeing loads of smoke, I'm removing energies here. Hello, welcome. Whoever's joining us, I appreciate you. Now, a couple of things. Obviously, we're going to wait for a few more people to come in first. But this may be a twin flame reading, maybe a weekend reading. I haven't quite decided yet. The guides are still kind of in discussion. So let's wait for a few more people to come in. Welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Today it is raining again here, as always. Tianina, hi, welcome. I hope you're doing very well. Just finishing cleansing the deck. Just completed Virgo's reading for the month of the second part of June. Wowza. So yeah, haven't quite decided yet if this is going to be weekend twin flame, but there's several messages coming through already that has been wanting to get through. Apologies for all the smoke. We've got incense burning because obviously it was a little bit of an intense reading. I'm cleansing the deck immediately afterwards because we do not let this energy sit. We're not playing around here. So yeah. So guys, how have your dreams been? You said my name in the Aries reading the other day. Girl, you got a good reading. You got a good month coming up. Because I remember recording that Aries reading, and that was no joke right there. That was no joke. So if I said your name, congratulations. Let me know how you get on with that. I'm really dying to hear, because I remember Aries being one of the most positive first half of the June readings, and then I'll be honest with you, so far, apart from Virgo, I'm not going to lie. Hi, Joanna. Welcome. Yeah. Who's been having weird dreams? Who have you? Because I'll be honest with you, I've been having a lot of dreams about people. I've been dreaming about people. Yes. I've been dreaming about people. Yes. So I feel like this may be a twin flame reading. I'm going to wait a few more minutes and then we're going to go through a couple of bits and pieces. I am cleansing a deck that I've just used. That reading resonated with me too. It had a lot of Sagittarius energy. Which reading? Well, Aries. Was it the Aries reading? I'll be honest with you, but it's like the masculines are coming in the dream. That sounded really weird. Not in that way. The Aries one. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. The Aries, apart from Leo, Aries and Sagittarius, in fact, I'm saying that, but I haven't recorded the Sagittarius one yet. The Leo one was possibly the only fire sign that felt a little bit wounded energy. If it resonates with you now, Joanna, have you checked your ascendant? Because it could well, because I'll be honest with you, I've got a Sagittarius ascendant. I'm an Aries Taurus cusp. So do you have any strong, now you don't forget Sagittarius, you could have a stellium, and what that means is a collection of planets in a body or a house. So that would be, I had dreams but I don't remember them. Rose quartz under the pillow, that will really help you. We're also using today Florida water to remove any residue energy, because this Virgo reading was no joke. Your ascendant is in Virgo. Oh my goodness. I'll be honest with you, it's all about the karmic, Joanna. That reading I've just recorded, it wasn't bad for you, it was very good. But the information coming through about the karmic, because this is the thing, I've just recorded it. Look, as you can see, I've got all kinds of protective measures going on here. Okay, the karmic showed up. Do you remember when I said to you, you've got news coming? This is no joke. Yeah. And I've also just done the Libra reading. You guys, I remember Libra stepping into their power the first part of the month. Second part of the month, Libra is finding they're in their groove. I'm happy for Libras. They deserve it. I'm very proud of them. They're getting very switched on. I feel like I've got so many messages coming through right now. It's like He's a oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. So I know what there was. Okay, I've used an analogy in the Virgo reading about, I don't want to keep repeating myself all these readings. Do you know what the most frustrating thing is I record them and then they're not going out for another week. Do you know how much I'm telling you, this month, this eclipse season, which is called the Ring of Fire. Truth. The truth is coming out here. Okay, so we've also got another thing. Venus is about to go stationary tomorrow, early morning of tomorrow, roughly around 4 a.m., 4:42 a.m. English time, British Standard Time. If it's East Coast, it will be 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11:42 p.m. roughly, or sort of the day afterwards. No, yeah, tomorrow night. It's going stationary. All right, now there's already a shift, and I'll tell you why. It's actually shifting from 8 degrees into 7 degrees of Gemini. Okay, you've got Uranus and Chiron both sitting in between 7 and 8 degrees. All right, now whenever, and I've said this to you before, but whenever you've got planets that are all sitting along the same degree, there's a correlation of energy. Now we've got Uranus in Taurus. So Taurus, very, very rooted, very solid, very kind of stubborn energy, a little bit kind of doesn't like change, doesn't like sort of moving things around. Uranus is that kind of very disruptive energy, but it blows open things. It really moves energy. And then you've got Chiron, which is that wounded healer, that healing energy, which is sitting in Aries, which is again 7-8 degrees, roughly in Aries. Aries is that dynamic, very driven, very fire-based energy. It's a general reading, Pradeep, but thank you so much for joining us. This is general messages for everyone that's going to be relatable to you. So with Uranus, you're a Sun, Virgo, Moon, Pisces. Okay, you need to watch the Virgo. You need to watch the Virgo reading here it'll be next week. But there's already first part of general readings on my channel that are posted, but the second part is coming. It's been posted here. So Aries being in that very kind of first sign energy, which is that pioneer, that fall energy. So there's a kind of cleansing of, I mean, Venus is the planet of love, isn't it? And it's in Gemini. So there was confusion. There was previous very strong confusion around love matters that are about to be blown wide open. Uranus, that rigid energy of Taurus is about to be moved. The flexibility is going to be put back into the connection, or that kind of idea. And then you've got Chiron, which is that wounded healer planet, which is about to kind of shift and cleanse everything. You rule all over Virgo. If you've got any karmic situations going on in your life right now, then Nicholas, you're about to have some insane that reading. I'm still cleaning up after that reading, because that reading, there are people doing, I've been on an FYI as well, there are actual Virgos or people connected to Virgos that are doing magic, and they're hiding things, they're stealing things. I was literally, my jaw was swinging recording that reading. I was just like, well, what makes you, this is the thing, the universe is kind of sitting there going, knock yourself out, let's see what you're going to do. And the tipping scale, the balance, Libra, is about to, the karma is, I mean, look, people that think they're getting away with stuff are not. The hammer, there's an iron hammer that's about, and I'll be really honest with you, I'm sat there going, okay, can I just make sure there's nothing too severe that you're going to tell me about? Because I was actually worried. Like, there are karmics that I'm even worried for, because I'm just kind of like, oh, there's, never mind all this energy and this kind of weird, chaotic energy. The universal order is no joke. Universal order is no joke. And yeah, I felt a bit sorry for some people. I'm not going to lie, because there's only so much manipulation you can do before people start getting called out and information starts getting brought to light. Right, let's go. I feel like I still can't work out what they want me to do. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate you. Let's have a look. Half of me wants to do Twin Flame. Half of me wants to do a weekend reading. I don't know where to listen because my guides are all just sort of talking amongst themselves. They're saying, do what you're led to do. Well, I guess it's Twin Flame. Look, I cut the deck. 2 of Cups. Okay, so with this Venus energy that's about to go into, put it this way. First of all, it's about to go stationary. It's going direct on the 25th, which is a couple of days after the eclipse. We've then got Mercury going into retrograde on the 18th, but we're in the shadow period now. Okay, so Mercury in retrograde, lots of things coming back from the past. Lots of lessons that weren't learned from the past about to come back. Well, I'll be really honest with you. Just make sure you're treating people kindly and that you're not utilizing that very strong energy against others, because that Virgo reading was no joke. So if you are utilizing that sort of any Virgos here, you'll see it when it comes out, but I wouldn't be using that against other people because Spirit are watching this. Okay, let's have a look. Spirit, what can you tell us here? What messages need to come out? What is it we need to be aware of, please? I'm scared. I'm actually, this energy, I'm not joking you, this energy is like Knight of Swords. This is about to get a move on. If you have been waiting for things and things have been slow, not moving, there's been a general consensus of pause, which, let's be realistic, we all have. I mean, I'm still in lockdown, so just to give you some insight there, things are about to move very quickly. The way they described it to me is, imagine a bag that's been placed full of things, all different sort of objects, and the handles of the bag have been held there, and there's a hand that's been held on the base of the bag, and it's been twisted around and around and around and around and around. So the straps of the bag are all intertwined, and then the hand has held it as it's all twisted up. The hand is about to get released. Now, according to physics, what happens? Something that has been moving that you probably didn't see, you probably weren't aware of, there's been actions under the radar for a long, long, long time. And there's a timing thing here that's about to move back. That shadow, that kind of veil covering it up to release the information. So there is going to be, and this is not around Twin Flames, this is just going to be, you're going to be literally jaw swinging, because there's information getting released here, and it's going to be the things that people have known about but they didn't want to see. So all the sneaky karmics that have been manipulating people around the counterparts, who have been lying, who have been fudging figures, who have been stealing. Bottom of the deck, Temperance. There's a balance coming here, and I'll be really honest with you, for those people who respect the universal order and that haven't, because you've got to remember, there's been people that have been witnessing this stuff and have been seeing this unfairness, even Archangel Michael stepping in and trying to sort of, because at some point it's been a little bit intense. But if you are one of those people that have been trying to respect the universal order of things, and that you haven't been doing weird spells and manipulating people and doing creepy things, you're good. You're very good. For those people, I'm going to be real with you, and I even said this the other day, I was like, I'm going to actually send a thought to those karmics, because they've got no idea. I actually cringe when I think about it. I cringe because I'm just like, they don't have a clue what they're doing. Because this is the kind of energy, you don't pretend that this, you don't do that to someone and then it's just, oh, a karma in this instant and then it goes. This is something that you reap over lifetimes, and people don't realize that. And I'm just sat cringing. I'm just like, because this is the energy I'm getting here. Someone has given someone else everything, unbelievably, unconditionally, like in a very genuine, heartfelt, very kind of a beautiful giving energy, and someone has totally manipulated that and has squeezed the life out of this energy and has made this other person think they're going mad. That's for the group that I'm channeling for. That's the energy I'm getting. That's the, I mean, every single reading I'm reading for, it's like I can't record, you know what I mean? It's like this is additional energy I'm getting from the readings I'm recording, and then I'm just like, the spirit are like, you have to say it, you have to say it, because you could be in your connection and sitting there going, but why is nothing happening? Because they're giving the karmics a chance to come clean. They're giving the counterpart the chance to come clean. The counterparts know what is going on, but they're scared. They think that your connection is an illusion. They think the feelings that you have for them is an illusion. They don't believe it can be good. Think about all the rubbish that's been thrown their way that you know of or you don't know of. This is what their mind is telling them, is if they step away from a situation, they're going to get more rubbish, because it's been told to them, it's been set up that way, because it's supposed to be looking like an illusion, because they're not meant to be looking through here, they're meant to be looking through here. And so you've got an energy around the counterpart here that is very karmic, that is buying into that to make them question this. But what they don't realize is there's an awakening coming. And this energy every day is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Every single reading from Aries to Libra has been insane for the second part of June, to the point where there is a mass awakening about to happen. And if people are already in that energy, it's going to get more and more obvious. What don't you know what means? Mass awakening would be where your third eye becomes activated, where you are becoming very aware of, there's layers to this reality that we're in. There's a very strong program energy. Like, for example, at school. Hello, Lisa. The overgiver. Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart. So, for example, me at school, I was thrown out of every lesson. I was thrown out of every lesson because my gut instinct, my third eye, was screaming the information they were teaching me was rubbish. And we're witnessing that in England at the moment, where people are going, I didn't know that about England. Yeah, because no one ever uses their third eye in school. Whereas I didn't I was on gold report, I was suspended, I was in timeout, I was refused. The teachers even refused to teach me because they were like, so the dreams at the moment are usually, if you're not in a counterpart situation, if you're not in a strong counterpart situation, the dreams are usually the counterpart coming through. So the divine counterpart, your twin soul coming through to give some kind of insight. Okay, so you may not remember it, but there's a lot of people that are remembering that, and they're waking up going, this reality is not the same as what I've just been in terms of my sleep state. Because people are waking up and the energy is getting more, it's getting more and more obvious for both parts. Now, usually there's one fraction of the two that is more aware of this energy, and that they're probably a little bit more aware in their journey, a little bit more awake in their journey. They're meant to lead the other, ideally, typically, although I don't like really go with the rules with anything, because I find that sometimes when you write the rules, it's we're limiting ourselves, aren't we? I don't like, unless it's a spiritual rule that has been given, then I will question everything. And that's all. I mean, look, at 5 years old, they used to put parents on the school gates, because I used to walk out of school at 5. I was like, I'm not here. Sorry, I don't need to be here. Don't need to. What are you going to teach me? I know that sounds incredibly. That sounds incredibly arrogant, but it was just that was the energy I had, man. Like, I know. Can you imagine what my parents had to go through? My dad encouraged it though, so he taught me all the swear words, my dad. And then my mum would be sticking soap in my mouth to kind of get rid of it, because she doesn't like shit. Even now, she hates swearing. Let's have a look. Let's see the messages. There's a masculine coming here. I'm going to just tune in. I don't know what to do. Okay, there's a masculine that doesn't know what to do here. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals around me, and I feel like I'm going mad. I look at the karmic and I try and understand what exactly I'm supposed to be doing in this situation, and I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it. This person's about to get a rude awakening. They're about to understand it. Joanna, I'm not going to lie. This feels very much for you. I know that energy anywhere. That feels very much for you, girl. I'm not going to lie. Someone's missing you. There's a strong energy of someone missing someone here. Let's have a look. I know. Bless. 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 Yeah, look. Balance. They're so undecided. Look, 2 of Pentacles and Temperance. Balance. This is Sagittarius energy as well. Look, Temperance. Balance. They have to, someone's deciding whether or not to. It's like they've got to put their physical reality is not matching their heart center. They're in a fake reality. They know it. They know it. They know it. It's like they're, oh, I'm actually cringing because they're there and I can actually see it through someone's eyes here, and it's like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Now, I'll be honest with you, someone's already thinking this. And this is going to be the kind of energy moving through into the eclipse energy around the 21st. Between now and the 21st, this is the energy come through. Because I'm going to be real with you. I woke up hours ago, and for hours, I've had masculines, feminines, counterparts doing this, doing that, going. And then I've got my guides going, you need to do a weekend reading today. And I'm just like, well, what do I do? So there's I mean, look, you've got to remember Mercury is about to go into retrograde, and usually that's a lot of when people come back. We're in the shadow period, especially when Venus starts going direct tomorrow, very soon. I mean, this is less than 24 hours. There's this release energy. Oh my goodness, now I'm getting all the love songs coming through here. One sec. Okay, is that song? I don't know much, but I know I love you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get all in my feels now. Hang on. Oh my goodness. Now my heart center's all go. Right, hang on. Let me just try and ground myself here. Wow, that shifted quickly. So there's a look, even we can't even have 3 minutes. The karmic's already energies here. This is karmic energy. Hang on. This is karmic energy. Someone is very aware of the situation going on here. There's a karmic that's aware that something is going down. Tia, are you a Libra as well, are you? Is everyone here a Libra or something? There's a lot of I'm even a Libra at Midhaven. When I was recording Libra, my head was like acting very strange. Yeah. It's interesting, the numbers keep changing. There's a lot of Libra energy here. For some reason, people always think I'm a Libra. You're interested in a Libra, are you? Joanna's interested. Okay, so how else? Right, let's have a look. What other messages here? Let's see what other messages. Someone's guide is screaming a message at me, but I don't know whether to give it. They're saying give it. We've got something to do with work here. There's a karmic that's interfering with someone's work. And there is someone who is connected to this that is almost like there is someone that's recently left an employment because it's got too much to deal with the karmic, and they didn't tell the truth. They lied and they stepped down. They stepped down. Your karmic's a Libra as well. Why do I feel like this is also a no, this is earth energy. This feels very earth energy, but there's a karmic that's involved in someone's work. Is everyone Libra? What is this Libra situation? Yeah, there's a karmic that's involved in someone's work that has caused someone to leave their job, but the person doesn't know, and it's all been kept. Now, I'm going to be honest, if this is ringing bells for you, you need to do some digging, because there's a world of secrets about to come out. If you were to, I'm telling you that this person's guide's screaming at me to give this message, because if you pull that string, you're going to find out so many other secrets coming out. Like, oh no, he's been in, yeah. My karmic is a Libra too. I'm surrounded. Oh no. Yeah. Someone has interfered with someone's work situation. And actually there's so many right, if you work with your karmic, or if there's a common link with your karmic, and maybe you've got people that work for you, work for them, you need to look into this. You need to look into this, because someone's left recently that if you speak to them, you need to speak to that person, because they're going to give you so much information that's going to really help you, because someone's trying to hide things. And if you speak to that person, you're gonna have proof. You're gonna find someone's being suspicious of something and they don't have proof, but if you speak to this person, you're gonna have proof. Right, let's have a look. Proof, clarity, truth. Ace of Swords. This is air energy. This is cutting through illusions very clearly. Someone knows. I think whoever's oh my goodness. You can't make it up. Look, someone was trapped mentally in their head and lied to keep them in a state of feeling disempowered. They're being cut. They're being released. Someone's being released. This trap that someone's laid for them, and this has taken a long time, where they feel like they're disempowered, they can't move, they're not able to move anywhere. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've got goosebumps right. Number one, I've got goosebumps right now. Number two, if this is anything to do with Virgo energy, this person, I can't even talk right now, because this is like someone is, how do I put this into a word? I mean, look, for most normal but grounded individuals, you wouldn't even think to do this, but this karmic, I don't understand how people think of these kind of things. Like, when you know someone's that dark, how do people think of that? Like, why? What would even make you get into your mind into that kind of gutter level? Like, I don't get it. This person's about to be tutored, and the balance is being restored. Put it that way. They're about to be cut free. They're about to be cut free. Someone's being released, and it's from their own truth. They're finally seeing something. They didn't want to see it before because it was too much. Okay. Oh, look, the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Cups. The Knight of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Now, I don't know if I need to even go into detail here, but someone, now they're free. Now they're free and they're able to move, is going towards wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups. Someone is making a move. Someone is making a move. And I want to say, and I don't know why, but I keep saying 3 hours, 3 days. Could be weeks, but it feels more like days. Next 3 days. Keep an eye. Ace of Wands, movement, travel, action. This is action. Someone is finally making a move. Someone is finally taking the steps. They're honoring themselves. This is an inner voice that someone's ignored because they've been so distracted by this trap that has been laid for them. But do you know what? This is where it gets really upsetting, because it's like whatever BS was laid, it was a soul contract that was designed from a karmic and them in order to empower that individual. Because don't forget, when you're having a heartbreak, eventually that heart chakra blows open and there's a heart awakening. Once you go through that heart awakening, you can't unsee stuff. It's then you become very aware of the truth. Who's dark energy? What do you mean, who's dark energy? That sounds good. Yeah. This is Ace of Wands, fire energy. Now, don't forget, we've currently got Mars conjunct Neptune. This is currently happening. So Neptune is that intuitive energy, and Mars is the planet of action, but it's in Pisces. Mars is about to transition into Aries over the next coming weeks, which is that very dynamic, solid energy. Now, again, I've got Mars in Aries. Mars in Aries is the soldier. Hi, Stacey. Welcome. Hope you're doing okay. Bless your heart. Thank you so much for joining us. Shout out Stacey for coming here while she's extraordinarily busy. You're in Aries as well, yeah. You've also got, now don't forget, Mars is also going to transition past Chiron at one point, which is the healing energy. So if someone wasn't able to act and they were blocked, this is also getting freed up. Messages, please. What else do you want to give? Oh my King of Wands. This is oh my goodness. Okay, this energy here is someone who this is an alpha male. Okay, it doesn't have to be male, could be female. This could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or has strong air. Sort of, I don't know why I said air, but Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in their chart. Could have an ascendant. I don't know why, but I'm seeing ascendant, and I don't know why, but there's something about Leo season for this, you guys. There's something about Leo. He's coming to see you in Leo season. So August, end of July, beginning of August. If you could be in contact before that, but it's like there's someone's coming to see someone in August. End of reading. End of reading. End of reading. Counterparts, Queen of Wands, King of Wands, and Ten of Cups. End of reading. End of reading. Does anyone else need me to clarify these cards? Does anyone? No wonder this energy's been following me all day. Like, can you give some? Can you give the complain? Yeah, look, bottom of the deck, King of Swords. No wonder I said air. Someone's got air and fire in their chart. Could be Libra, could be Gemini, could be Aquarius. This is also cutting something off. They know. They know. People be making some moves here. This is not about 3 questions. This is a general reading, general collective reading. So this is actually, we're reading currently for twin flame energy. Thanks, Stacey. So you have 2 people very much on the same page here. This is very fiery energy. This is very fiery energy. This is dynamic. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit of sexual frustration going on here. Not going to lie. Okay. We've also got bottom of the deck, the full energy, which is the Aries, again, taking a leap of faith. There's a lot of Aries energy floating around here. This is after a long period of delays. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This was because it wasn't time. The timing wasn't right. This is what's coming through. This energy here is no joke. They're both exactly the same wavelength, both exactly wanting the same thing. One of them's a little bit, someone's still doubtful about someone's still doubting energy. They're still doubting whether or not. Do you know what this is? This is like someone's doubting themselves, and so that because of that, they're doubting the connection. Someone needs their self-esteem is very low. This person's self-esteem is very, very low at the moment. And so they think, again, it's the same message that came through earlier. It's like they think that this isn't going to work because it didn't work before with their current situation. Someone wants more time to understand what this is all about. Page of Pentacles. Because they want to deliver a kind of really grounded offer that has longevity. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Pentacles. But thank you for the like, by the way. But they're not sure. They can't get a handle on this. They think. Let me tune into this energy a bit deeper here because I want to dig a bit here. They've gone out of this more scared energy into more of a pessimistic outlook where it's like, this didn't work, so this isn't going to work either. I invested time in this situation, but look where it's got me. So what makes this any different? This is the current headset. This is the current mindset that this person's in. They want all of these things. They want to make a decision. They want to move forward. But again, this person's, look, they're going up a tree to get a higher perspective on things, because before they make an offer, it's like, I would say you're at a 60-40 position where 60% they're sure, but this is the other thing, what they want to say to me as well. This is the guides. There's so many people involved in this situation that they're listening to everyone apart from their own heart and their own intuition. Bottom of the deck, Three of Pentacles. Someone is not listening to their own instincts. They're listening to everything else. For example, the whole notion of, well, you're in this situation now, I think you should try and make it work. Or you're in this marriage now, maybe you should try and make it work. Or you've got kids, maybe you should. It's like they're in this situation of people around them that they don't get it. So if they've reached out and asked for advice, they're getting rubbish advice. I'm going to be very honest with you. And so I just keep hearing, you've made your bed, lie in it. So it's like they think, well, I made my decision, and so I think I'm going to have to just kind of sit this out until I can understand what's going on here. But what they don't get is this is the test. That's been the whole test, is stop listening to this is not about everyone else. It's not about Bob up the road who you go for a pint with. This is your life, your legacy, your long-term future, your heart, your soul, It's beyond the physical. But someone is not used to making decisions, and so they're asking so many different people for advice, but they're not listening to their own inner instincts. They're not. And spirit are reflecting this truth back to them, but they're doubting it. And the reason for that is when they're going around these karmic situations, whether that's family, whether that's friends, whether it's an actual physical karmic partnership, relationship. I say partnership, I use the term loosely. They're being reflected back this confusion. And so because they're being reflected back confusion, they're not questioning it or doing something differently. They're absorbing that. Now, this is also someone who's scared to be by themselves. Someone is so used to doing things on they're used to having things done for them. They also don't like change. This person also does not like change at all. They're scared of change. They think that what they're more scared of is change than actually leaving the situation, that's when you know it's not healthy, because rather than missing the person, you're missing the fact that you've got someone to fall back on. That's not healthy right there. This is about sovereignty of self and independence. So, for example, if you know that's not you, then you need to cultivate that in yourself. For example, if you know that there's something around you that needs to be acted upon, then do it, because it's going to help the counterpart. Because at the moment, there's so much confusion, and then the karmic situation is reflecting that back to them. It's like they're misreading all the signs, and it's like, even if there was the biggest sign on the planet that was in front of them, they're doubting it because in their mind, they've been told that they don't deserve anything. There's a situation around them that has ground them down to the floor, where they think that they are pieces of rubbish on a floor, and so they think, well, I might as well just stick to this, because what happens if this next situation is even worse? They don't know any better, because unfortunately the soul contract between them and this karmic situation or this person they're with has been very well designed to make it reflect back all these insecurities. And so they listen to this, I mean, God only knows why, but they listen to this karmic because they think that that's, you know, I think they're becoming more and more aware that that's not the right information to listen to, but they're slowly opening their eyes to this. But they know there's disappointment here. This is 5 of Cups. They think they made the wrong decision. They think they made the wrong decision, and it's like they're being a martyr, saying, well, you know, I made my bed, I've got to lie in it now. I'm going to meditate on self-esteem. What's that mean? Someone's disappointed at the decision they made, and they don't know how to correct it. Someone needs to get some I'm trying to be polite. Saying this is not going to work. Who told you that if you're disappointed, you just stay in that situation? Who told you that? Who taught you that? Oh, self-esteem. I think self-esteem is, I mean, that's a whole video right there. You have to embody it. You can't, I mean, okay, there's sometimes say you've got to fake it to make it, and sometimes you can pretend to be in that energy, but put it this way, I think what first of all you need to do is make a list of all the things you know about yourself that are very, very valuable and or that people would give their left arm for. And you need to sit and honor yourself and go, actually, this is what I've been gifted with. And you need to focus on that. Okay. And you need to sit in that energy, and you need to use affirmations. Now, this is difficult for me to tell you about because I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm always been very arrogant in my life. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit arrogant. So I can. So you're asking the wrong person, girl, because I've never had a problem with my confidence, and it sounds awful, but I've always had it's my dad's energy, man. My dad is super confident, so I got that from him. But make a list of all the things that you know are a blessing for you, and honor that for a minute. Forget about the stuff that you think isn't so good for the moment. Honor the stuff that you know is very much valuable to you. And don't forget, we're in a society where people are going on looks here. I'm talking, you can do that, but personally, I'd be honoring my soul. I'd be honoring my soul, first of all, and the things that people, you can't buy. You can buy hair, you can buy features, you can buy all this other very shallow stuff, you know? You can't buy a genuine soul. You can't buy light. You can't buy a heart that is very caring and giving. You can't buy any of that stuff. Now, you've got to remember, are you viewing this and how you're viewing yourself via what is being taught to you by other people? Because don't forget, this is not me going, I'm arrogant because I think I look absolute shit art. I'm not saying that. I was always very confident, and obviously I'm digging myself a hole. Listen, as a kid, I was always a very popular kid with the boys. I'm not going to lie. And I used to just kind of be a bit of a bitch. But this is not about that. And, you know, you get older and you understand what really means something. And I got schooled, you know, I got karma. I got I had a very big head at one point, and I was not particularly very nice. And I got major karma delivered to me on a platter. And then I had my awakening, and then the rest is history. But focus on. Hey, Adriana, Joanna, Tia. So I'll be really honest with you. If you are shy, you've got to understand, is this something that has been imposed on you by others, or is this something that you deeply feel in yourself? Now, I'm not talking about looking at magazines and understanding and comparing yourself physically, because I'm sorry, but I know a million very beautiful women and men who are vacuous individuals that I can't even be in a conversation with for more than 2 seconds before I have to leave because it's dry, you know. So it depends on what you're valuing. It really depends on what you're valuing. Now, for me, how you treat someone, your heart, your soul, what you can do, you know, what you do for your family and your friends, your loved ones, what you value is a higher priority than anything that you can buy in a bottle or, you know, in a plastic surgery room. Sorry, but this is, you know, it's easy for me to say that. You've got to sit in that energy. So I'd be making a list of things that I know that I value of myself, and I'd be starting from there and using affirmations, you know, especially if you've got people around you who are not honoring you. Remove it. I'm going to be honest with you. Remove anything that is not honoring you and how you feel. You know, that does not. And I'm not talking about people blowing hot air up your backside. I'm talking about people that are not a low vibrational, that maybe aren't bringing you the best energy. I would be reviewing all of that as well. But you've got to look at the deeper issue and understand where the wound has come from, because I'll be real with you, if this doesn't lead back to your parents, because I'm going to be honest with you, this is me. I was very, very confident, but I didn't have an easy run with my parents. You know, my mum didn't bring me up to as a princess. I was brought up to be very male. My mum didn't want a female. She wanted a male child. That just gave me more confidence, you know. And my dad, he wouldn't let me out of the house without a chaperone. So if you know where this wound came from, you need to, this is what I would be doing. I'd be sitting in that energy and use free association to kind of bring those memories and bring that associated emotion up and release. First of all, because there's no point laying down a foundation of a house if you're not removing any debris that needs to be removed first off. Yeah, there's a lot of, I'll be really honest with you, coming from someone who has had an extraordinarily difficult relationship with my mum. I've got a Scorpio moon. Scorpio moons are famous for having very hard karma with their mums. You got to forgive your mum, first of all. There's a forgiveness that has to happen. And this is not about not acknowledging what's happened between you, but it's because you're trying to liberate yourself here. You're not trying to ignore everything that's happened. It's not easy. It's not easy. None of it's easy. This is why we're here. We're here to learn. You know, sometimes it's about forgiving and then stepping away from that energy. Depends. Everyone's different. Not everyone is going to forgive and then rebuild a relationship. I didn't. Some people can't. They aren't meant to learn. You know, you can only do your part of the soul contract. If they're not meant to learn their part, that's not your issue. You know, you have to, and I get it. It's like you probably are sitting there going, but I'm the daughter. Why should I forgive that? So it depends. If you know for a fact, I'll give you an example. So my mum was very abusive to me for a long, long time in a lot of different ways. And I lived with my grandfather, and we didn't really have much of a relationship. She used to go on holiday with her new family, and I did my own thing. I was 8. So my granddad pretty much brought me up. My dad was in a different country. If I needed something, I wouldn't be able to go to her. There was no option to do that. And finally I went to university, and a debt was laid against my name that was created by her, and it spiraled my credit rating. So even my first part of my adult life as a university student, I was struggling financially because a situation that was created, and I paid it all back, and that was resolved. And then it just didn't stop from there. It just further and further issues that, you know, nothing was getting resolved. It was very, very toxic. Then she got diagnosed with cancer. And no one was there for her. She was totally alone. She was literally there was no one around. And I was there for her. I came back, I made sure she was looked after, I made sure she went to her appointments, I made sure, you know, she was offered anything that she needed, that she was, you know, given everything she needed. And for a time, there was some awareness of thankfulness of, okay, this is, you know, maybe we can rebuild something here. And then that was extraordinarily short-lived, and there was a fear around change that you could just see, and it was like we went back to square one. Now I could sit here and go, oh my goodness, this is, you know, my life is over forever, and now I'm gonna excuse me, I have a path to be on here. Because you've got to remember, sometimes as a person, as a spiritual person, as someone that's walking what my guides call the gold line, you're going to get this energy. You're going to be distracted. You're going to have all kinds of obstacles, and it's about how you deal with it that is the most important part. Now, I can sit here and be like, oh my goodness, I was rejected by my mum, and, you know, da da da. I've fought for 39 years to rebuild my self-esteem and confidence that was totally removed by that whole situation, because I was very confident, but I did have a wound. I was very wounded, right? You build it up. You don't rely on someone who clearly has issues. Like, think about it. Most people here, when they have babies, they're not going to do that to their child. That's common sense to me. No, you know, for the people that are doing that, there obviously is an issue. And sometimes you get a parent who is not as evolved. It's common. Unfortunately, it's very common. Now, because we're in this kind of whole situation where it's like the parents should know better, sometimes they don't. Sometimes as a soul, you get born here because you're not meant to know less than your parent. You're meant to know more. Your whole journey here is to be totally individual, to walk a path that hasn't been walked, to strive for your own sovereignty, to strive for your independence, to keep going, keep the hustle. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. Keep going, keep fighting, creating a new world, and leaving that energy behind. Your you now that you're shifting and transitioning out of that energy from is creating something new from the wounds that were created there. Personally, I'll be honest with you, the one of the hardest enemies I've ever had is her. But you know what? When I deal with these problems now outside of the family, do you know what? They're not going to see a damn thing because I'm used to it. They're not going to be able to read the reaction. They're not going to know how to deal with it because I'm so used to it inside my own camp. And so it throws people off, you know, because they don't know how to get in there, because they don't know a weakness. Because this is the thing, as a healer, especially if you're walking a healing path, if you've had that kind of person trying to break you down from day dot, what exactly is going to be able to get in there after that? What no offense, but like I keep saying, they should have steamrolled me when they had the opportunity. When I was ill in that bed for 2-3 years, they should have got me when I was down, because that was the only chance they had. You know? So you've got to remember, if you come from that environment, where is it leading you to? Is it building you into something that is going to help others understand that? Because for me, that's a superpower. You've overcome a very abusive situation that someone that should have been your caregiver was giving to you. You're fierce. That's a fierce energy you've worked through, you've fought through, you know. That shouldn't be underestimated. That should be honored. Yeah. And it depends. Everyone's situation is different, you know. Everyone's situation is different. But if you've had what did not win on the whole parental lottery, then there's a reason for that. It's usually because you're here to create a change, or you've got a very strong path in your life. Usually it's a lot of the very solid people that I've met throughout doing this job professionally for 12 years now. They're very, very strong people, and they're on their mission because of all the stuff they've overcome. They've learnt, because that's not a small obstacle to get through right there. That's not a small obstacle. That's a challenge, and it's one that you would have sought out on your soul contract. Because I can tell you now, me and my mum have got a very vastly karmic interaction for many lifetimes. I can sit and talk you through several million different lifetimes, and this is the other thing, I hurt her in a past life. So you've got to remember, if she's doing that now, what did I do before? You can't. We can all sit here and be like, oh look, my shit doesn't stink, but there's a balance to everything. The universe doesn't just put a big a-hole in our path and then go, right, well, we're going to just try and break you. There's balance. You've got to understand the past life because I'll be honest with you, I know for a fact I was a total bitch in a past life. Otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. Don't forget universal order. Universal order exists, for a reason. It's to learn something, and usually, I'll be honest with you, like for example, South Node, you can look into that, and Chiron on your chart as well would usually show that kind of energy. Yeah, but usually Scorpio moons are, because the moon is the mother as well. Look at where your moon is positioned and what aspects it's in position to, because usually you'll find a lot of insight into that, because the moon represents your mum. All right. And again, my chart, my moon is 12th house unaspected Scorpio moon, which means it's a standalone planet. It's emotionally, I'm a weirdo. I'm not even gonna lie. But then of course I would be, this is what happens, just keep going with it. This doesn't mean to say that the rest of your life is going to be, you've started off like this, so this is never going to develop into anything. What it means is that there's a gift that you're gaining from it. Because I'll be real honest with you, this has not been a lifetime where I've just glided. They gave me confidence, that was it. But I mean, I was brought up in an area where they didn't like anyone that had a different name, that didn't have, anyone that looks like they're not from, England. There was a lot of, that's why they gave me the confidence, because otherwise, so that you got to remember, they give you strengths for a reason. It's not because they're, so what I would be doing is I'd be looking at my strengths here, and I'd be focusing on those and honoring those. Focus on that, because when you're focusing on that, you're showing your gratitude, and then you're given that path, and that evolves into something deeper. All right. 7 of Wands, defensive energy. Defensive energy. What is it exactly that someone's trying to defend everything? You don't need to defend the truth. It's the truth. You don't need to defend, in my opinion, you don't really need to defend yourself, because unless you are a vicious human being that doesn't care about anything, why do you need to defend yourself? If someone accused me of doing something that, number one, didn't know me, that was totally inaccurate, I wouldn't even allow energy to part my mouth in order to counteract that, because why do I need to? This is not about my ego, where I've got to try and justify myself. It's not about that. Pay attention to what you're being drawn into to defend yourself here, because this is another little test that they tend to do. If you are focused and confident, you don't need to defend yourself. That's your energy. You are what you are, Bottom of the deck, 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment's on its way. You just got to understand what exactly, if you start connecting all the dots to what things have been, how things have developed, what you've cultivated through that, and where you're going, all the other stuff just fails into insignificance. Now, in answer to the question about the mum, sometimes you can rebuild a connection. Sometimes people can change. That I will say. But sometimes they can't. And if they don't, then that's it. You did your bit. You forgave. You move on. Just because it's a mother. I mean, obviously, you don't need to sit and be petty. And, we're not into the game situation here. We don't have time for that. We're not lowering our vibration for anybody. You move on and you claim your blessings. End of story. Because your path might not be one where you're reconnected to this person in this lifetime. That's it. You just focus on what it is you're here to do. Don't be sidetracked. You could be the next. I'll be honest with you. There's this, I'm not going to name names, but I do reading for a politician. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, but that person's childhood was not easy. Now, you could sit there and go, oh, but, they're not going to go anywhere. Really? Because from where I'm seeing it, they really will go somewhere. And their childhood was not a good, this was not a straightforward childhood. So you've got to remember, if someone has been able to kind of move through that energy and cultivate a certain empowerment, yeah, don't This is an ongoing battle. This is like, for me, I would be getting camo cream, I would be shaving. this is right up my street, you know, Mars and Aries. This is I was built for that kind of thing, you know, unfortunately. You know, I don't shy away from that kind of energy. Something that I've had to deal with all of my life. So, you know, but just don't let, because you've got to remember, I'm going to be real, we're in a spiritual war right now. We are in a spiritual war. It's light versus dark. I don't care what anyone says. This is exactly what's going on. And so don't let people allow your energy to kind of be, you know, really kind of lowered. If someone is trying to bring your vibe down, it's not about ignoring it. You do the work, but then you focus on what it is that you're here to do. You know, you keep that kind of energetic vibration as high as you can do. So you're flying, because sometimes when you're flying over that and you're objective about it, you can view a lot more information as well. All right, keep going with it. Don't let anyone block this path of yours, because this could be part of the reason why when your blessings come in, it's once you've kind of evolved from that energy. Yeah, I mean, same with my end here, you know, same. And you got to remember, as a soul, sometimes they don't have a lot of experience. Sometimes as an evolved soul, we're born into a family that are asleep, and the black sheep are the ones that wake everyone up. And so it's a hard path. But to be part of the black sheep, you have to be rejected in some way. And then you have to move forward in your own path. But because of the experiences you've had, it's shaped what you're here to bring. Don't forget, you're here to anchor light into the earth. And if you've gone through pain and hardship, then that light will be very strong. Because sometimes the light is forced down because it's that much powerful energy, you know. So if your light's being forced down, what you've got to remember is how powerful you actually really are. Because if there's an objective to your energy, or if there was a resistance to your energy, you've got to ask yourself why that would be. Is it because you're a very strong energy? So that's because it's very much needed on this earth. From where I'm looking at, it's usually the case. Usually there's something that you're here to do. And so if you're getting a lot of opposition energy and a lot of people that are trying to dissuade you from who you are or distract you from who you are they right? Or is it just that they know your power and there's a fear, possibly an undercurrent of you're reflecting the light, the truth to them, which is they're seeing themselves in you and they don't like it. It makes them scared. Does that mean you're wrong? No, it just means that you're strong enough as your light to reflect truth to things that are needing to be reflected truth. Do you stop shining your light? No, you keep going. You shine it even more until everyone understands this. It's a mirror for everything. This is even more reason why you keep going. You know, you keep going. You just keep fighting, you know. Moving away from things that don't serve, Eight of Cups, towards the things that do, Knight of Swords, towards your happiness. Towards your happiness, all right? Bottom of the deck, the Fool, brand new start. Minor Arcana, this is the first card of the Major Arcana. This is Aries energy. This is Aries energy. The Fool takes that leap of faith. The next card is the Magician, where you can manifest. Now, don't forget, if you're in that energy, because personally, if you're holding that much light, you'll be able to manifest what you want to manifest. So if you're getting people telling you or dissuading you from who you are, is it a distraction from where you're manifesting from? Because I wouldn't be letting myself get distracted from what I'm trying to manifest here, because that will be very important for you. So I'd be looking into manifestation 100%. And that's all it is, simply is keeping on a level. Say, for example, you're trying to manifest money, you're raising your vibration to match. There's many different ways of doing it, but the technique I use is I visualize, I feel it out. So when I'm doing readings, I'll fill out a level of energy and I'll kind of buy into that and understand what's going on. Let's say the money energy is here. I'll put myself in a little lift in meditation and I'll press the button that goes up to that floor. And I'll stay on that floor until I get the money I need. And then let's say, for example, it doesn't come immediately. I keep my vibration at that level. I keep on that floor. Let's say for 4 days, I check in. Am I still at that same level? If not, I get back in my lift and I go up to that floor and I stay there. Now, the trick is to keep checking it, because sometimes people do that and then they go, it hasn't manifested yet, because your vibration's down again, you know? So you keep checking, am I there? Am I there? And you keep doing it, and that's it. You don't overthink it. If you're doing that, and because don't forget, when you're going up to that level, you're visualizing what you're seeing. So you're visualizing that abundant energy. Hello Gemma, morning. You're visualizing that energy, okay, until you gain what it is you want. Now, it doesn't have to be money, it could be a lover. And then you check out, where is this energy? Usually it's higher. Obviously, you've got to remember it's usually higher, because if it was lower, is that going to be something we're going to want? No. So as a lover, maybe it's floor 10. So you get in your lift, you press floor 10 and you go up. You're visualizing this in meditation. That's the best way that's the best way for manifestation. Try it out and let me know how you get on. But it works. It works. There is another money one and another energetic one that you can do as well, but we'll save that for another time. Let me know how you get on if you try that. Right, let's pull an oracle card here for outcomes. Hello, Gemma, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. You're welcome, Adriana. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for all your support of the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Outcome. What is it that is most needing to be shown here? What is the message? Wow. Look, when you get into the right vibration, look, potential gateway. There's a portal here. We're in the middle of a portal. So we've had eclipse on the 5th. We've got another one on the 21st, 2nd of 3, another one in July. You must keep your thoughts very clear right now, because there's a very strong ability to manifest. All right. So if you're catching yourself talking bad on yourself, or you're feeling like it's not your day, or maybe things aren't working for you, bring that energy back up. So, for example, if you're sat there going, oh, this is not really working for me, I would be very clear and careful about what I'm trying to think through here, because we don't want to attract that energy in, because what we think we attract. So, for example, if you're sat there and you want to manifest some new opportunities, just say you are abundant. Use that kind of affirmation. I'm abundant in all areas. You wake up and you say, thank you, Spirit, for, and then you name something you're grateful for, and you say, I'm abundant in all areas. And then you do the lift thing. You keep doing that. And then at some point, it will be automatic. If you put your heart into something, usually that's the way, the gateway. The gateway is usually the heart. And as you can see here, the gateway is shaped like a heart. So if you're putting your energy into something via your heart center, via your emotions, it's easier to manifest, because that's the gateway to manifestation, the heart. But it says potential gateway here. So don't forget, Venus is about to go direct tomorrow. So we've got to be very careful what we're trying to manifest here, or what energy we're putting out to the universe. Now, I get it. There's a hot mess going on outside of, everywhere at the moment. But it doesn't mean to say that we allow that to remove our high vibration. If it doesn't affect us and we think that it's not relevant to our path, we keep going and we don't let any distractions come in. Exactly. You bring it back. Exactly. Tia, there's so many distractions right now. Also, the other thing is, if you feel like something is out of your control, send it upstairs and just say, universe, I trust and have faith that you will deliver. Because I'll be real honest with you. So I used to do that quite a lot. Send it upstairs. And then the universe turned around and went, so do you want us to do something about this? And what they proposed was so hardcore. I was like, no. I take it back. I take it back. I will trust and have faith, because you've got to remember, it can work both ways. All right. So, but trust in the fact that if you hand it upstairs, this eventually comes back down. Because I used to do that with my mum, and then she got ill, and I was like, no, I take it back. I take it back. I don't want this now. This is good. I don't want to. This is not my job. I'm not God. So when you're handing upstairs, just know that does get heard. So just be careful what you're manifesting, especially if you're very good at it naturally. Now, Tia Nina, I've got a feeling you are very good at manifesting. So keep your thoughts. So for example, let's say, for example, you're manifesting your counterpart, all right? You keep the faith that they understand how you feel and they're going to move towards you when the time is right. You trust and have faith that that is going to happen. You trust and have faith that this person is becoming aware of the reality around them and that their heart center is in alignment with yours. You use those affirmations. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't say them out loud. I say them in my head because I'm not about to expel energy and sort of allow that energy to go anywhere. I want it to be, because the Akashic records will monitor everything that has ever been thought. Usually I find that when I'm not saying it out loud, it's a little bit more powerful for me, but trial it out and see what works for you. Everyone's going to be different. But this is a potential gateway, guys. So just be very careful what you're manifesting at the moment. And don't forget, if you want to manifest something that is, you know, in alignment with you, that's positive, then you've got a very good chance of doing that right now. Even if that's forgiveness, even if that's healing, you can manifest healing. You can manifest, you can even ask, if you're confused about a situation, you can say to Spirit, look, please, can you show me what I need to be aware of, this obstacle? What is it I need to learn about this? Okay, guys, this was your reading for today. Have a wonderful weekend. Take good care of yourselves. Next live will be 8 p.m. British Standard Time on Monday. Gemini's reading will be released later on today. And yeah, have a wonderful day wherever you are. Take care. Bye.